Hello and welcome to ReginaldESQ. I'm Underhook and this is my review of the Tier 2 Russian light tank, the BT-2. So, is it any good? It's a bloody ripper! It's a great tank. Really enjoyed this tank. The only reason I got it was that Dick TR, DIC-TR, got in touch with me and asked me to review the A20. So I thought, okay, no problem. So I've got this one, the Tier 2, and I'm working up to the A20, which is the Tier 4, and I will review that. But yeah, I'm glad he wanted it done because I wouldn't have driven this otherwise, and it's a fantastic little tank. What makes it so good is it's very fast and has fantastic gun selection, and yeah, it's a ripper of a tank. Let's get into the review. It has 160 hit points, which is actually pretty low. The only tank that has lower hit points is the British Cruiser Mark III, so it's a bit lowish on the hit points. The speed, though, its speed of 55 is very fast. It's the second fastest tank. The fastest one at Tier 3 is the American M2, but this tank, even though it's only, the M2 is only 58, it's only 3 kilometers an hour faster, but the thing about this tank is its acceleration is awesome, and it gets to 55 and it stays there. And going up hills, like I went up the hill on I can't even remember the name of the map now, but I was going up a hill and I didn't go below 52 kilometers an hour all the way up, which is incredible. So very quick at getting around and good at moving up hills. Now, it has a traverse speed of 40, which is kind of average, and a turret traverse of 35, which is okay, yeah, not bad. It's also sort of average. The view range is poor, though. In fact, it's the worst of any of the Tier 3 light tanks. So it has a poor view range, and its signal range is also not very good. It's sort of the equal lowest with the other Russian tanks and the Chinese light tank as well. They're all pretty bad. So yeah, lowish hit points, poor view range, poor signal range, average in the other areas except excellent speed and fantastic guns, and I'll go into the guns in a minute. Now, camouflage wise, it's average. All of the Tier 3 light tanks lose their camouflage whilst moving. When I say lose, they don't totally lose it, but it's reduced whilst moving. But this one's just average. It's not great, not terrible, and it's adequate. Doesn't seem to be an issue. The gun depression on this tank is 8 degrees, so it'll move down 8 degrees, and its gun elevation is 25 degrees, which is very good. So the gun depression on this tank then isn't great. It's 8 degrees is what I normally say is the bare minimum for hill fighting. But in these lower tiers, the gun depression is normally pretty good. So 8 degrees will put you at a bit of a disadvantage because there's other tanks getting around that have sort of, you know, gun depression of a lot of 10s, and you got 15s, quite a few with 15. So it does put you in a little bit of a disadvantage, but it's still serviceable. It's not like, say, the other Russian one, the T60 or the American M2 and the Chinese VE. They all have sort of only, you know, 5-6 gun depression, which is really terrible. This one is still serviceable, but it's on the sort of just making it side of things. The thing though is, yeah, I'll show you the guns. The guns are what really bring this tank alive. The guns it's got combined with its speed. So you've got, as you can see, there's a huge gun selection. Now, I've picked 3 games for you with 3 different guns to show you, but these 2 guns, the top 2 guns, you can't get to unlock the turret, and you won't be able to do that straight away because you need to get the tracks to take the extra weight as well. So it might take you a few games before you can get to it. But the guns that I used the where is it? I used this 23mm here, and then you've got the 2 upgraded guns. So I'll grab those out and we'll have a quick look at them. Alright, so we've got the 23mm over here, 23mm VJA, which is an auto loader. It has 12 shells in the magazine and only takes 0.2 of a second to fire a shell, so you're firing 5 shells a second. And 4.6 seconds to load the magazine completely. An average penetration of 23 and average damage of 12 damage per round. So basically, if you've got 12 shells, you do 12 per round. That's what? That's 10 to be 120 plus 24. It's 144 damage for the whole clip when you put it out there. Now, 30 penetration isn't great. There are quite a few light tanks that you will penetrate with that, but there are some you'll have trouble with. Now, 0.454 accuracy is terrible and pretty typical of a lot of the auto loaders, but yeah, that's not very good accuracy. And the aim time is 1.7, which is excellent. So it'll get you by, and it's a bit of fun because it's an auto loader and it's not bad. And you can use it; it's good fun. But I recommend that you get the turret. Once you get the turret, these are the two guns you'll be looking at. Either one of them is good. This one here is the G45 20K. It has a rate of fire of 26 rounds per minute, which is very fast. Has 51 penetration. Now that penetration is very good on a tier 2 tank. There is basically nothing you cannot penetrate with that. You won't have any trouble penetrating. Like even a T18 from the front, you might have to be a bit careful about where you hit it, but you still won't have much trouble. The damage is 47, which is quite good considering that rate of fire. That's a very good amount of damage, and you'll devastate tanks if you sit there and fire at them. The accuracy is 0.46, which isn't great. It's not terrible, but it's not great. And the aiming time of 2.3 is a little on the slow side. Now the gun that I prefer is this gun, which has the same rate of fire, 26.09, so it's very fast. Has a penetration of 58, which is actually 7mm more penetration, and does 40 damage, which is 7 hit points less damage. Has an accuracy of 0.39, which is now getting pretty good. For tier 2, 0.39 is good accuracy. That's an accurate gun. 2.3 second aim time is once again a bit slow. It's the same as the other gun. So basically the difference between two guns is the ZIS, the gun I probably would prefer, does less damage per shot, but has increased penetration and increased accuracy. So you're sacrificing a little bit of damage for better accuracy and a little bit more pen, which basically guarantees you don't have to aim for weak spots as much. So that gun I prefer, but both of them are very good guns, and if you wanted the one that did a bit more damage with a bit less accuracy, you could go for that one. I've got games for you with both of them to have a look at. Alright, enough about that. Yeah, your normal sort of upgrades. The tracks are a definite upgrade. You needed to get the turret anyway, but it also increases your track traverse from 36 to 40, which is quite a big increase. And definitely get the engine, because the thing about this tank is how fast it goes. It's just awesome in that respect. Interesting looking tank, great design for bouncing shots. Unfortunately, the armor is just too thin. Now, here it says we've got a 26 turret armor at the front. 26 turret armor would be very, very good at this tier, but we're going to have a look at it in Tank Inspector and see why. Before you buy a tank, download Tank Inspector, have a look, because if you're going to say, oh, I want to get this tank because I want a tank with good armor, these figures are basically bullshit, and you'll see why when we get into Tank Inspector. I think that's about all I need to say. The equipment on the tank that I will have will be binoculars, camouflage net, and toolkit to increase the repair speed. And you can see I've got a small repair kit, large repair kit, and large first aid kit. The crew is basically 75%. Let's see, 75 to 78% they'll be. I didn't spend any money or do anything with them. Alright, let's get into Tank Inspector and then we'll go into some gameplay. So here we are in Tank Inspector looking at the BT-2. As I mentioned to you, the figures that they quote when you're looking at tanks on the tech tree are really deceiving, and you're going to see why here when we look at the turret. So what did they say the turret was? 30 something mils or whatever it was. Let's have a look. Okay, so if you look at the turret here, you see that red band there that goes around. It's like an extra piece of metal bolted on to hold everything in place. That is 26mm, and that's the 26mm when they're talking about when they say the front of the turret has 26mm of armor. However, this section is 13mm. The pink section is 13mm. So everything on the turret all around is 13mm thick, except for the small red band, and that is what they advertise. They say it's 26mm in the front of the turret. Bollocks it is. So if you can get everyone to hit that red band, good luck. Okay, that's my bitch for the day. The rest of the tank is also 13 mils all around, except for the back, which is only 10 mils, and the top of course is 10 mils as well, and the top of this is only 6 mils, top of the turret. There's a small section for the driver to help protect the driver, which is 15 mils. Now, at tier 2, pretty much everybody is going to be able to penetrate this, unless they happen to hit this little red band. Some of them bounce off that. But even your little auto machine guns, you know, they've got sort of 20, 29, 19 pen. They'll all go through it. You might fluke a bounce off that driver's thing here, or that red band, but yeah, no, you're not going to be bouncing anything. Do not rely on the armor. You rely on your mobility, take shots, drive away, run away, hide in bushes, snipe people with the great gun selection, and you pretty much, a lot of time in this tank, you'll just outshoot people, because they won't be able to match your penetration or your accuracy or your damage. Alright, into some gameplay.
Move out.
Okay, the map is Malinovka. I'm in the tier 2 BT-2 Russian tank, and check out how fast it is. We're already doing 55 kilometers per hour. Now admittedly we've got a bit of a downhill run here. Now I shot my gun off there by accident. I didn't mean to shoot it. Don't go shooting your guns off at the start of every game like some people do. By the way, I sometimes see people when they're halfway across the map still shooting their guns off for some reason. I don't know why. And don't do it, because especially as you get into higher tiers, people will spot you, because when you fire your gun, almost all your camouflage disappears. And people will spot you because you're firing your gun, and you'll get hit by artillery and you wonder why. So don't fire your guns off. Okay, so look how fast this tank is going. We're going uphill. We were doing 58 or something. Now we're doing 54, 55. Let's see how low it goes. 55 still. I would normally fast forward this, but I want you to see how quick this tank is. Oh, we hit 49 there, 47, 48 again. And I'm adjusting my moving from side to side a little bit. I hit a 44 there. I think that's the lowest we've hit. Now accelerating again now. The lowest hit was 44. That's a fast tank. That's power. Well, it's got no armor, so I guess it's light enough. Yeah, that's very impressive. So, yeah, if you want a mobile tank, if you like to move around, it's pretty good. The only thing is, if you're new to the game, and a lot of people, you know, tier 2, might be new to the game, sometimes being fast is a curse, because you just get so far ahead of everyone. Because, you know, when you get out really far ahead of everyone, you haven't really got any backup. There's no other tanks near you, so if you get into trouble, no one else is going to shoot him. You've got to do it yourself, and you can get yourself into a bit of strife. You zoom ahead, and then you find you got 3 tanks firing at you and no friends nearby. So yeah, be a little bit careful. And like, say I got up here, I was just trying to spot and see if I could get any easy shots. I've waited till this other M2 light has come up. So now we've got 2 pairs of guns and 2 pairs of eyes.
Penetration. Penetration. We didn't penetrate.
So you can see there what a benefit it is. That She-Nee that I've just shot was looking at the other guy and trying to shoot the other guy. So we're getting shots. I'm a more difficult shot because I'm slightly below a hill, so probably only half my tank was showing. So he looked at me and thought, bit of a hard shot. The other guy could see his whole tank, so I thought, I'll shoot the other guy. So we made ourselves a little bit of a harder target, which meant that, yeah, he had more chance of missing us, so he went for the other guy. Worked out good for us, we didn't get hit. So as you can see, I've got that the auto-loader gun fitted. And I can't remember the name of the gun off the top of my head, I'm sorry, but I mentioned it during the review. So it's, anyway, it's that gun. And yeah, so if you like auto-loaders, this gun is not bad. At tier 2 it works quite well. It would struggle at tier 3 a little bit. But you'd still be, you know, plenty of tanks that you could penetrate, or you might have to go and hit some in the back, but you've got the mobility to do that. Outflank. I'm being a little bit cautious here. Now we've got another tank that's come along as well, so now I can push up a bit harder because I've got some more support in case I get into trouble. A lot of people just want to get as far forward as they can because they want to get all the kills themselves and all that, which is good, but you've got to be a little bit careful. You know, like you've got a tank with no armor. It's a bit different. T-18, something like that. You've got a bit of armor, and if someone starts shooting, you can bounce most of it. But a tank like this, you know, if they hit you, it's gonna go through. It's gonna penetrate you. So you can't afford to just, you know, push in too hard. So he spotted a tank up there for us, which is medium. We've got a few tanks around. See that Chi Ni there? He's getting pumped full of holes now. He's out in the open, no friends. So try and sneak up on the back of this guy.
Enemy is hit. Enemy armor is hit. Penetration.
I think just about every one of those shots penetrated. Now we're getting hit. There's a Panzer II with an auto cannon hitting us. He hit us about, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 6 times he penetrated us. And got our driver. So now we've lost our speed advantage. So I'm just backing up to get back into cover again. He must have been a little way away because I think I disappeared from his view range once I backed up a little bit. Now there he is out there. So that Panzer II right out there. Now you can see I've got the little red dot in the center of my thing. That means I'm not going to be able to penetrate. So I don't take a shot because I'm just going to blow my camouflage and I'm not going to be able to penetrate him anyway. If I could have probably switched to premium ammo because I am carrying some premium shells, and then I probably could have penetrated him. But I just figure there's probably other tanks closer to me anyway, and I'm just going to alert them. I'm going to get spotted, and you know, someone closer is going to shoot me. I'm better off just finding the closer targets and leaving him to some other tanks at the moment. That was my feeling anyway. Not spotting anyone, so I'm just going to try and move forward a little bit. Sort of lost my speed advantage now because of my driver's dead. Okay, so we see here an L tractor. It's a tier 1 tank, so we should be able to penetrate that pretty easily. The first bunch of shots missed, just incredibly poor accuracy of the gun. So we get behind this building, T-18 shoots. T-18 seems to be reluctant to move out to come and get us. We get hit by the L tractor there. I fire a few shots at T-18 which don't penetrate. T-18's doing the smart thing, which is trying to destroy the building. Now we've got a T-60 coming at us. They're coming from everywhere. I don't think we're going to survive this.
Enemy armor is dead. Bail out. This
We
vehicle
don't.
has had it.
But there you go. Alright, so we lost that game. The gun was the 23mm VJA. I just looked it up. So we did quite a bit of spotting. You can see those little binoco things there. So we helped spot quite a few tanks. It wasn't enough to win us the game though. We hit a few tanks, didn't kill anything. Let's have a look at the next screen. We finished on third. Oh, third for damage. How did we finish for experience? I normally list it by experience. We finished second for experience and third for damage. Yeah, the other team just outplayed us. The L tractor there, that one fish on top, he did very good. That's only a tier 1 tank. He played exceptionally well to get 4 kills. I mean, he killed us too. Okay, next screen. Okay, so we fired 57 rounds. Of those, 32 were direct hits. The gun isn't terribly accurate. The penetrations were 25, so 25 out of 32 for that type of a gun isn't bad. Actually, it's pretty good, but it was only tier 2. We didn't have any tier 3 opposition. We did 288 damage. We received 11 hits, and only 9 of those penetrated. So some of those auto cannon fires, probably from that Panzer II, I think that's probably what bounced. Or we may have bounced something from the L tractor, I'm not sure. But not, yeah, a little bit bounced. We spotted 6 vehicles. We damaged 4. Not a great game, really, but at least it shows you that gun. I think I only played 1 game with that gun just so you could see how it worked. And so I could see how it worked. Our profit margin was good. Pretty good profit from that tank. And yeah, there you go. Let's get into the next game.
Let's get this show on the road.
The map is Mines, and we're in the BT-2 Tier 2 Russian tank. It's a Tier 2 game, as you can see. Everybody's Tier 2 except there's a couple of Tier 1s. Unlucky buggers. Now I'm heading up to the hill, which is the way I normally go. If I've got a fast tank especially, and this is a very fast tank. Now the gun I'm using is the 45mm 20K. So that's the gun that has, I think it's about 51 mils of penetration, which is a lot. And does 47 damage, which is a lot. But its accuracy is a little weak. So I double back this way, so if there's anybody else coming up the hill, I'm okay. But Looks like the enemy team is quite inexperienced and nobody came up to try and get the hill, which is a bit of a mistake. So if you're new and you're watching this game, whoever controls the hill usually wins the game. Because it allows you to fire on people and they can't see you and can't receive fire. As you can see there, the damage we dealt there was a lot of damage very quickly. Very rapid firing gun. But we're let down there a little bit by accuracy. We bounced a shot off the Hotchkiss. Hotchkiss has reasonable armor, I believe. He's angled to us quite well as well. But with the help of some friends, we do make short work of him. And where these other guys are up on the hill here, near these bushes, he's getting shot because he's not covered by the bushes. And he's a bit too close to the bushes too. But it's a great place to fire from. Without, you can light up the enemy. You see they're all getting lit up there. And you can shoot them without them really seeing you. Now I've got this tank here for a bit of cover. But I didn't get to fire at that T-18, unfortunately. But yeah, it's a great, once you've got the hill, and you can move to different parts of the hill and shoot in different directions, and it's very hard for people to shoot back at you with much success. So we've got 3 tanks over there. Our team's winning fairly comfortably at 6-3. And they're all, it looks like that T-18's going in there, he's wanting to get a few kills. I decided it's a bit early for me to do that because I've got no armor. So I want to have a bit more of a look over here and see if their artillery's hiding over here, if I can just sort of nip up and get the artillery or something like that. I see an opportunity, possible opportunity there. The tanks are moving across, out in the open. Might be asking a bit much of this gun to get him at that range. And I think I just fell off the cliff. Okay, so now we see a tank destroyer. He doesn't do a lot of damage per shot. He's doing about 20 damage per shot, and we do 47 per shot. So I just decided I was going to sit here and outgun him. My accuracy wasn't great, but I was close enough to be able to do it. And I had full health, so I thought, you know, I'll just, I know my armor can't stop his shot, but I'll just outgun him because more damage. That's the advantage of having a gun that does a lot of damage. Now this guy is he's kind of playing well because he's hiding behind the tank, but he's keeping his tank side on, and when he pops out, he's popping his whole tank out. That was the mistake. What he should have done is put his tank like faced the dead tank, so the front of his tank was touching the dead tank, and when he wanted to shoot at me, he should just like backed out. It's called side scraping. He should have sort of backed up on an angle, so he only would have exposed a bit of the side of his tank, and then shot and then popped back forward again, so the front of his tank was hitting the tank again. Yeah, so I'm only saying that because a lot of players watching this are probably new because you're looking at a tier 2 review, or you could be someone who, like me, plays a lot of different lines and you want to see which tanks are good from which lines. So look how fast this tank is going now. We're about to go through this water. Look at that. We're doing 58, now 56, 55, through the water. The water's hardly slowing us down at all. So not only is this tank fast on the flat, fast up hills, but it's fast over rough terrain and water as well. It's a ripper. Light Vic, I don't know, that shot missed. See, that's poor accuracy. That was pretty bad.
Penetration.
Just, yeah, I don't know what that guy was doing. New player, probably. That's the end of the game. Obviously, we won that game, and it was a pretty good game. So you can see it's a good gun. We managed to kill 4 tanks there. We had a bit of fun. Only tier 2, but I think that gun against tier 3s would be quite a good gun as well. The penetration is quite good. Although you couldn't sit in front of a tier 3 tank and just blast away because, you know, they start to get better guns. But you would hold your own against tier 3. It really it feels like it's a tier 3 tank at tier 2. Russian tanks. Overpowered! Excuse me. Cough. Let's see now. We've got... this screen, we actually came... I've got it on damage instead of experience again. Okay, yes, we came first for experience and second for damage. The T2 medium, which has quite a powerful gun as well, he topped the tree there. Let's have a look at the next screen, and we fired 21 shots, of which 12 were direct hits, so it's a fair bit of missing going on. Some of them were pretty long range though. Penetrations 11 out of 12, which is excellent, and damage 401, which is very good. Hits received 4, and only 3 of those penetrated, so we bounced a shot somewhere along the line there. We spotted 1, we damaged 5, destroyed 4, which is excellent, and did a little bit of spotting damage. As you can see there, profit sensational. The repair of the vehicle and ammunition cost almost nothing, so very good, profitable tank. And I think we got a class 2 mastery badge there, so 524 raw XP was enough for that. And it was that my first game for the day, was it? Yeah, 2 times. Okay, there you go.
Time to roll out.
Once again, the map is mine. This time we're on the other side, and this time I'm using the ZIS-19 gun. This gun is good. Now, I feel a bit guilty after playing this game because there's obviously a lot of pretty new players playing, and yeah, you know, I'm not a great player. I'm in fact quite average, but against new players, I felt a bit bad. It was a bit too easy. But also the fact is, it's not just that I'm, you know, more experienced, but also this is a very good tank, and the gun is very, very good. So once you see, as I said, whoever controls the center controls the game, and these are the sort of shots you can get on people. That guy's tracked, the other guy's already tracked him.
Enemy armor is damaged.
So you can see this gun doesn't do as much damage, only does an average of 40 damage, but the penetration of 59 on this will allow us to penetrate just about anything.
Enemy is hit. Enemy
Shell
armor is
velocity
hit.
on this tank on these guns is also very good. Like the shell travels quite quickly, so shooting at moving targets is fairly easy. That was poor aiming on my part.
Enemy armor
The other
is
thing to bear in
damaged.
mind, you know, when you're looking at the accuracy of this gun,
Enemy armor is destroyed.
my crew is still only about 77%. So you know, this gun's very good.
Enemy armor is
With a crew at
damaged.
100%,
Got him.
yeah, you'd just be massacring tier 2, and it'd do really well even in tier 3. That was a wild shot, went very wide.
Enemy is hit. They're knocked out.
So if you are a new player and there's people on the hill, you really want to get them off the hill if you can. Or if you've got a fast tank, get onto the hill as fast as you can. But don't just drive up there and start shooting like I'm doing now. Because if the other team's trying to get on the hill, then
Enemy
you want
armor
to
is
be
damaged.
defending it. So you get up on the hill, then as soon as you do, you turn around and try and defend the hill so nobody else comes up from the other team.
Critical hit.
And then you can roam around and start shooting off it. But in this case, nobody else from the other team even tried to get on the hill, so I didn't have to defend the hill. I just came straight out and started shooting people. And the artillery is
Enemy
tracked.
armor is destroyed.
T18, let's see how we go with T18. No trouble penetrating the side.
Enemy armor is damaged.
We see it's orange, the indicator, but it's still penetrating.
They're knocked out.
Yeah, no problem. That's the end of the game, believe it or not. Okay, so, well, what can you say? Great game. Top Gun, and we got our mastery badge as well. Those screens look great, don't they? Always love looking at a screen where you get awards. So yeah, this time I've still got it listed for damage again. I like to list it for experience. Anyway, obviously we would have finished top for experience and top for damage as well. The T2 Light there did very well as well, with getting only not much less experience than us, 671, and a fair bit of damage as well. Alright, let's go to the next screen. Now, we fired 29 shots, and of those, 23 were direct hits. So if you compare that to the previous game, we missed a lot more shots in the previous game because the gun just wasn't as accurate. This gun is very accurate. Now, if my crew was 100%, that would be even better. So, you know, it's a very good gun. Now, of those 23 direct hits, 23, every shot penetrated because the gun has fantastic penetration. And as I said, even against tier 3s, it would do very, very well. We damaged 7 vehicles. Well, we destroyed 7 vehicles, which is obviously a sensational result. And we made very good profit, and we got some sort of an award. There was some reward going for something or other. Now, the raw experience was 738, so that without any special things that are going on at the moment. So 738 is enough to get mastery in the tank. Alright, I hope you enjoyed the gameplay. Thank you for watching my review of the BT-2, a very good tank. If you liked the review, please give me a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more reviews, please subscribe to ReginaldESQ. And if you're driving this tank, I know you're going to have fun.